Good evening. I'm going to call the October 10th, 2023 agenda meeting to order. I'm here, Councilmember Brennan, Councilmember De La Rada, Councilmember McPartlin, Councilmember Moskowitz, Town Attorney Elena Finnan. We also have Seth Goldstein, Elizabeth Greenwood, Chief Koshin, Michelle Martinelli, Diane Percy, Lori Peretti, Laura Robertson, Ray Smith, Matt Yetto, and town resident Leslie Gold. Before moving on, we wish to respectfully acknowledge that Niskayuna is on the traditional lands of the Kanikihaka and the Mahikanac peoples, past and present, and we honor with gratitude the land itself and the peoples who have stewarded this land throughout generations. I would also like to take a moment to acknowledge the atrocities that are happening in Israel right now, and to have a moment of silence for those who have been killed and kidnapped. Thank you. Okay, moving on, we will begin with Public Works Committee.
Number one is a tentative resolution to appoint a grounds maintenance worker in the Parks Department. We still have some interviews to do and some applications to review. So if I have a candidate, I'll get it to Elena as soon as I have one. If not, possibly next month. Okay.
The second item is a resolution to create a consolidated drainage and stormwater district. We've been discussing that for a little while. We have a number of disparate drainage districts, and we manage them separately from our storm sewers currently. We believe that by consolidating those and looking at them comprehensively, it will allow the town to better consider the difficulties we're having with the stormwater issues recently.
The next one is a resolution to authorize an easement agreement for 2451 Hilltop Road. It's an existing sanitary sewer easement, and the applicant wants to install irrigation within the easement. It shouldn't be an issue. The pipe is actually quite a distance from where they want to install the irrigation lines. So it's just a standard easement agreement. 4 is a tentative resolution to accept the water line on Aqueduct Road. When Rivers Ledge was constructed, a portion of the project included the installation of about 2,000 feet of new water main on Aqueduct Road. That line has not been activated yet and needs to be tested and then approved by the Department of Health. Once that's done, then the town would accept it as a public water main. So it's tentative because it depends how quickly they can get their testing completed and the approval of DOH. But I want to have that on there. If that's completed by the time of the meeting, I'd like to go ahead and do that. Typically, we would do this as part of acceptance of a road, but the project didn't include public roads, so we just do the utilities separately. 5 is a resolution to permanently appoint a water and sewer maintenance worker 2. Dan Plowinski has worked for the town for several years. He's finishing up his probationary period for this title, and we're very happy with him and like to move forward with permanent appointment for Dan. Number 6 is a resolution to amend Resolution 2023-243. It's actually going to be part of the special meeting tonight. When we were processing water bills, we did notice a difference in the total amount, which led us to go back and look at the software, and we found a glitch. So it affected 32 accounts. So we caught that and reprinted the bills, but in order to make everything match up, we have to approve the warrant so that we can send the bills out tomorrow. Number 7 is a resolution to appoint the maintenance worker in the Water and Sewer Department. It's tentative. We have applicants. We're looking through the applications right now and setting up interviews. And if I have a name or names, there's 2 openings, we would move forward with the recommendation for the next meeting. If not, then we'll have to go to the next month. But we want to fill those positions, so as good applicants show up, I want to be able to not miss a round. 8 is a resolution to authorize second quarter corporate utility reconciliation. We've reviewed the information. Everything looks good. I'd like to go ahead and do that. 9 is a resolution to approve the third quarter corporate utility warrant. That's tentative. We're still waiting for some of the usage data to come in from a couple of the consumers, the customers. And then if we have all the numbers ready for the meeting, we'll do it at this meeting. If not, we'll be for the next month. 10 is a resolution to authorize a change order. A couple months ago, we approved a contract to construct a transformer pad at the water plant. During the construction, some things changed in the scope, and the cost of the project is increasing from the original $7,480 to $9,930. So there's a change order for that amount, for the difference. And that's all I have. Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on to community programs.
Hello. Number 11 is a resolution to authorize the purchase of AEDs for our town parks. This has been an item we've discussed for a couple meetings and at our committee meetings as well. At the last meeting, we discussed that it was brought up that we had received $5,000 from the Community Foundation and also numerous donations from residents in the town. So we'd like to purchase these AEDs and covers and have the remainder of the balance covered by the town. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me right now. I'm still working on that, but I definitely will have them by the end of the week. Does anybody have any questions?
We have settled on the covers that we want to use.
I don't think we've officially determined, but we will prior to the meeting, so we have a price.
We don't have a price yet, but I did find the covers that I think fit what we had all discussed.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you and I had a conversation about this.
We did.
A couple, weeks ago, whatever. So you're still working on that. And tell us about the covers.
the cover is, well, we had gone over a couple different options. The first one was going to be a cage where you had to give out a key. While it was great to give out a key to clubs, if any person was in the park at any given time, didn't have a key, it really wouldn't benefit them. Then there was an option where you could, so we knocked that off. Then there was an option where you would have to call 911. The dispatcher would have to give you a code, punch in the code, and then you would get you could get the AED. That could be problematic in the fact that we may have sketchy cell service and someone may not be able to get the code in time to get the AED. And then we did find, and actually thanks to Councilperson McPartlin, had gone over to Colony and seen that they had boxes that you would just break and also have an alarm if someone were to open it. Or actually, I think it just opens up. It doesn't break, but the alarm will go off as a deterrent for theft. So we're hoping that that would be the perfect option, and it's a lot less than the one where you had to punch in the code.
That's great.
Thanks for doing that.
In your research on this, and I didn't ask them, I know in Colony, their particular one is actually in an enclosed building. And as we've discussed, some
Right.
of ours might be in that area, but most probably won't be.
Right.
The longevity of the batteries and that kind of thing being in the heat and in the cold.
That was something I have to research. So I don't know if, I know Charlie takes things out in the winter. So I don't know if the battery, because it's going to be out, it will be outside. They won't be inside in a bathroom, especially in like a park like Avon Crest, where It needs to be more visible, which would be on the outside of the pavilion,
Yeah.
facing the pickleball courts.
Well, in Colony, theirs is actually, it gets locked up at night.
Oh, it does get locked up,
Because their
okay.
parks have hours.
Right, yep.
Like our parks, they have hours. And so theirs is, I'm pretty certain, they told me, yeah, that building gets locked at night.
And is it 365? They have it out year round? That's what I need to
Well,
find
yeah,
out.
but it's an enclosed building.
Right, yeah.
You know, it's their bathrooms. And
Okay.
those are year round. that
Okay.
Particular building.
They're probably heated where ours are closed and
Correct,
locked
correct.
after Columbus Day. So this is definitely something that has to be worked out, but we're getting it done by the end of the month. I want to get this wrapped up.
Lori, would you send out an email or something to us that explains the process and how to
Absolutely.
access before the meeting?
Absolutely. Yep. With specs and everything. Anybody have any questions?
No, I'm just sort of thinking out loud, I guess, with the
Okay.
batteries and the longevity and the cold weather. I mean, the units are kept in ambulances and in police cars, so I mean, they have to last in the cold weather. I don't have an exact number. We can look into it. and
Yeah,
figure it
definitely.
out, But I mean, they are kept outside in the ambulances that aren't running, and
Right.
so that they must last.
Okay.
I don't know. Again, I don't know. That's
I don't
why
either, and I'll
know
get
that
all
a
the
lot of
details.
ambulances
Yeah.
now have to be, either, if they're not in a garage, they're plugged in.
Right.
Because of, and it's not that it's the batteries, I think it's more the
The
medications
medication.
that are on board.
Right.
Well, thank you.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, Councilmember Moskowitz, for working on getting additional funding and the community members. And since we received a new grant, we'll be able to use some of those funds to help bridge any gap. So that'll be really good. Thank you for working on that.
Thank you.
For working on that. All right. Moving on to Economic Development, Historic Preservation, and Environmental Conservation Committee.
So number 12 is a resolution to appoint a part-time building inspector. We had been soliciting for that position for close to 6 months and did finally get 3 people that we were able to interview. Did select one that we're currently negotiating with, hoping that he'll say yes. But I'm actually happy with all 3 candidates. So if for some reason the first one doesn't work out, we can move on to the second one. And once I'm able to get one of them to commit, then I'll let you guys know. But I'm excited to get that person up and running. I think they'll help the building department quite a bit. And I appreciate you guys allowing for that part-time position.
Laura, how many hours?
Part-time has to be under 20.
That's your intention.
Oh, yes. When we talked about it at the budgeting process, what we were hoping, because our building inspectors are both pretty close or eligible for retirement, we were hoping to get somebody part-time who could learn the job and then move into the position. Unfortunately, I think just with the economy and the way that people need benefits, I was not able to get every single applicant that we got was basically a retiree.
And are these applicants certified or in the process of being certified?
Yeah, that was something that we discussed with them. One of them was a architect, one of them was a energy code person, and one of them was a construction inspector. But all kind of just picking up the hours as part-time with their ability to cover benefits, elsewhere, either through their retirement benefits or through a second job that they had. And that position was open for a long time. So it was interesting that I know, sometimes we struggle to fill the maintenance workers in the water and sewer department occasionally. I've heard that region-wide it's difficult to get building inspectors, and we found that it was difficult to get building inspectors and particularly difficult to get the part-time. But I do want to get somebody in there to get working and helping with the workload. There's a lot of permits and things that need to be closed out that hopefully with somebody part-time to be doing some of those logistics, it'll free the building inspectors up to do things like fire inspections and stuff like that, which would be helpful. 13 is a resolution to permanently appoint a planner 1. This is Clark Henry. passed his civil service exam and finished his probationary period. You guys all know Clark. He's amazing. I couldn't do what I do without him, and I highly, highly, highly recommend permanently appointing him. And I'm very grateful to have him. Number 14 is a resolution appointing an executive secretary. This is Trish Bergami. She's currently in the title of account clerk. As you guys know, we went through all of our titles to make sure that they aligned with job duties. And she really does minutes and appointment making and so much more than just an account clerk. The executive secretary is a better fit, and there's no change in the budget and no change in the line that she's in any way. It's just aligning her title to make it better for our department and more in line with what she does. And so I think that when we get her there, the planning department will be where it should be, and I'm very excited about that. Number 15 is a resolution to award a contract for greenhouse gas inventory and government climate action plan for a climate smart grant. I'm really hoping I will have this one, but I'm just realizing now as I'm standing here that we have a meeting in 2 weeks. So I'm going to try really hard to get that out. But if I don't, I will have it for the next meeting. Did anybody have any questions on those? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on to police and public safety.
Good evening, everyone. Number 16 is a tentative resolution to call for a public hearing regarding an amendment to the town code that would disallow parking on a portion of Plum Street and or set particular hours for no parking. This was a discussion we had in the committee regarding the new installation of the sidewalk up near Hillside, that particular piece of road. And also we, in conjunction with that, something we discussed further was we've had town residents in the past reach out to us with concerns about Plum Street all the way down to Palmer with regards to parking. It's kind of a narrower section for any type of large vehicle, fire apparatus, or anything else to get through, buses to get through. So it's just a discussion. It's tentative at this point. Myself, Superintendent Ray Smith, I have to reach out to Chief Langenfelter. We're going to go out and look at it, kind of talk about the different options because we just want to make sure that we're doing this the right way and it's going to be used in the right way to make sure there's access to the school if need be for, again, fire trucks, buses, or otherwise. Parking on both sides of the road on Plum Street where the sidewalk is now would make it a very tight area to navigate.
So which side are you going to say you don't want?
We don't know yet. That's part of the discussion. And we're going to limit hours. We're going to look at town code and see what's already there and kind of decide what would be appropriate for that.
We want to engage the residents too in that
Yeah.
area.
Absolutely. So number 17 is a resolution to accept the Governor Traffic Safety Committee's Child Passenger Safety Program grant. It's $350 this year. This provides us the ability to re-up our child safety seat technicians as far as their certifications. We have officers that install child safety seats, and this grant pays for that in conjunction with any conferences or trainings they attend and things of that nature. Number 18 is a resolution to accept the Governor Traffic Safety Commission's Police Traffic Services Grant. This year we were awarded $13,020. This gives us the ability to put out overtime directed patrols in areas that we have identified through the grant as being problematic to our town based on crash data. Number 19 is a resolution to accept a Patrick Leahy Bulletproof Vest Partnership Grant. This is a new grant we applied for. We haven't done it in over a decade. This is a 50% match for our ballistic vests that we purchased for our police officers to keep them safe. I was ecstatic that we were awarded money to be able to do this. And we look forward to utilizing those monies to supplement the money that we currently budget for that safety equipment. And then just adding, as we spoke about in finance from the floor, the purchase of a Dodge Durango for the administrative vehicle. The total cost, including delivery, would be $39,852, and that is on the state Onondaga County contract. Again, thank you to Ray Smith and especially Kenny Williams for their hard work to help us with that. Does anybody have any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, wrapping up with Finance and General Government Committee.
Okay, we have a resolution to call for a public hearing regarding the preliminary budget for 2024, a resolution for budgetary modifications, resolution for an MOA between the town and the unions regarding the switch from paying current that we currently do, A resolution to authorize an MOA with the White Collar Union regarding the addition of a job title, and that's for the executive secretary title that we're sorting out in the planning department. And finally, the resolution that was brought to the floor permitting the supervisor to sign a revised agreement with the website company, decreasing the cost from $4,700 down to $3,500. Any questions?
Okay, that's all we have at this time. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, we stand adjourned and we'll move right into our special meeting when we're all set. Me included. Got to get my notes. Okay. All right. Okay. Good evening. I'd like to call the October 10th, 2023 special meeting to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Moskowitz.
Present.
Councilmember Delarada.
Here.
Councilmember McPartlin.
Here.
Councilmember Brennan.
Here.
Supervisor Puccioni.
Here. Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. And the floor is now open for any residents who'd like to speak during privilege of the floor. Okay. Then we can move on to the resolutions. So starting with Resolution 2023-255, sponsored by Supervisor Puccioni, will the clerk please read?
A resolution calling for a public hearing on the preliminary budget.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
There's an error here. On this resolution. For the stipend of the supervisor, that's incorrect. We need a motion to amend the, oh, I'm sorry. I can't make it. I'm sorry. I can? Oh, good. All right.
Just can't second it, right?
All right, I move to amend Resolution 2023-255. The amount for the supervisor's salary is incorrect. It's remaining the same. And
What is the number?
the current 53.8.
So now we need a second on the amendment? Is there a second on the
Second.
amendment?
Second.
Second.
Thank you.
53,800.
Yes, that's the current amount. I'm not sure why that says that. Don't try to start any rumors,
Taken
anyone.
from- It was taken from last year.
All right.
Okay, so there's a second on
There's
the
a second.
amendment. Can we have a vote on the amendment?
Can we have a vote on the amendment?
Councilmember Moskowitz.
Yes.
Councilmember Delarada.
I'm going to vote no because I think the original number that you had there is much more reasonable.
Don't start.
Councilmember McPartlin.
Yes.
Councilmember Brennan.
Yes.
Supervisor Puccioni.
Yes.
4 ayes and 1 no.
The resolution for the amended resolution passes.
The
amended.
S's,
Amended.
and then we vote on the resolution as amended.
Let's vote on the resolution as amended. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Moskowitz.
Yes.
Councilmember Delarada.
Yes.
Councilmember McPartlin.
Aye.
Councilmember Brennan.
Yes.
Supervisor Puccioni.
Yes.
5 ayes.
Y'all trying to make some news over here, putting that in there.
Got to give them something to talk about.
No, we do not. Resolution number 2023-256. Will the clerk please read?
A resolution amending resolution number 2023-243.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Moskowitz.
Yes.
Councilmember Delarada.
Yes.
Councilmember McPartlin.
Aye.
Councilmember Brennan.
Yes.
Supervisor Puccioni.
Yes.
5 ayes.
The resolution passes. Resolution number 2023-257, will the clerk please read?
A resolution authorizing the town of Niskuna Town Court to apply for a JCAP CAT grant in the 2023-24 cycle up to $30,000.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Moskowitz.
Yes.
Councilmember Delarada.
Yes.
Councilmember McPartlin.
Aye.
Councilmember Brennan.
Yes.
Supervisor Puccioni.
Yes.
5 ayes.
The resolution passes. Okay, that's all we have on tonight's agenda, or that's all we have for this special meeting. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 We stand adjourned.